Ready? Yeah. You could tell. You could tell. Okay.
Keep it together, look in the mirror, tell myself you doing better. Yeah. Ooh, oh, oh, yeah. Oh no, oh, oh. Stars in the sky make me think about you. The love in my eyes, get you tell it's all for you. Loyalty in my blood, I will never fool on you. Put your trust in me, and I'll put my love in you. Okay, baby, it's just us in this world. Nobody can change that. Hey, we gon' fuck up in this world. We can't change that. Stay up all night, you and me. When I'm with you, I feel free. Stay up all night, you and me. When I'm with you, I feel free. Give a fuck about me, 'cause if you stop to look around, it's transfer for me. I can't get back to memories. The promise, tell stories every 2 times a year. Give a fuck about me, 'cause if you stop to look around, it's transfer for me. I can't get back to memories. The promise, tell stories every 2 times a year. We've had it inside, but I cannot make a sound. Keep it together, look in the mirror, tell myself you doing better. Yeah. Ooh, oh, oh, yeah. Oh no, oh, oh. Stars in the sky make me think about you. The love in my eyes, get you tell it's all for you. Loyalty in my blood, I will never fool on you. Put your trust in me, and I'll put my love in you. Okay, baby, it's just us in this world. Nobody can change that. Hey, we gon' fuck up in this world, and we can't change that. Stay up all night, you and me. When I'm with you, I feel free. Stay up all night, you and me. When I'm with you, I feel free. Give a fuck about me, 'cause if you stop to look around, it's transfer for me. I can't get back to memories. The promise, tell stories every 2 times a year. We've had it inside, but I cannot make a sound.
Okay, welcome in everyone. I wanted to just throw in that introduction again. I will change that around for next week's video, obviously, because this is just the sort of the lead up to Maddie's disappearance. If you didn't catch last week's live stream for Maddie, it is in my live stream playlist. It's also in my Madeline Soto playlist. So for anyone who wasn't with my channel when I started covering Maddie's case, or when I was covering Maddie's case, I have just like Lily and Jack, I have 2 playlists for Maddie. I have a Maddie Soto playlist, which is all my Maddie Soto videos. It would take you, even if you watched one a day, it would take you well over a year to get through them all. There's a lot. And there's also my Maddie Soto case file playlist, which is all the interviews, all the body camera footage, everything that's basically case related but uninterrupted. Welcome in everyone. It's good to see people coming in. Welcome in, Summer. I'm going to keep talking about Maddie. I know I got really discouraged last week when YouTube decided to demonetize my live stream. But you know what? Stuff that, because Maddie hasn't gotten the justice she deserves. Jenn Soto needs to be locked up. So I'm going to keep talking about Maddie's case. Welcome in, Chrissy. Oh, I know. She needed help with Maddie and this teeny tiny little dog. Like, pull the other one, Jen. I would imagine Maddie would have been more than happy to walk Sailor. But here's what gets me the most about Jen saying, you know, Stephan was there to help her with Maddie, and when the detectives asked her along the lines of, well, you know, hasn't she been staying with your mother? And Jen's like, well, you know, I was a bit selfish because I wanted a chance to see more of her, because if she stays with my mum while I'm at work, then, you know, I don't get to see her as much. Well, Jen didn't even get out of bed the morning that Stephan took Maddie. Like, honestly, she comes up with this excuse that she couldn't have Maddie stay at her mother's place because she wanted to see more of her. But she couldn't be bothered getting out of bed to take her own daughter to school. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. True. Sometimes we need to be talking about PDF files, you know, the ones that when you save them, you have to select that you want to save it as a PDF, not a Word document. Things like that. And I think possibly when I refer to him, as much as, yeah, I'm not sure how to refer to him. Maybe just as Sterns. Maybe that will, because I think from the past patterns of when I was covering Maddie's case, the moment his name comes up, that's when YouTube's little algorithms decide to demonetize me. So I'm not going to give him the nickname that people gave him, because actually I find that a bit triggering, and I know other people find it a bit triggering. But I'm just going to refer to him as Sterns. He doesn't deserve to be given his first name anyway. Oh, nice. Enjoy a bit of time outside, summer breeze. The perpetrator. Yep, that could work, although I wonder if YouTube will also go with that. And welcome in, Hugging Demons. Yeah, still trying to think. I don't like, I know people call him Stinky, and I get it, but I find that triggering personally. Yeah, I don't think any of us could type what we would like to call him. Jenn Soto needs to be in prison. She really does. She got off scot-free. She served her daughter up to this guy, and she walked away with no consequences, which is just so wrong, so wrong. Now I don't usually mention this in my live streams, but I have put the link for my Buy Me a Coffee, or I will put the link for Buy Me a Coffee in the description for this live stream. There's also a barcode square thingy at the top of the screen for anyone who does wish to support my channel. I'm only mentioning it this time around because there's probably a 9 out of 10 chance that YouTube will still demonetize this for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. What did Jenn see in him? I see a guy that just makes me really nauseated. I really do not understand what it was. I think when it comes to Jenn, when you go and listen to Stephan, I can't believe Jenn was married. That icks me as well. I'm sorry, but who would marry her? Sorry, but when you listen to Stephan, it sounds like it was convenient for her to have someone around that she could just basically check out and have that person take over looking after her daughter for her. Oh, I hate that you're not feeling well, BTTV. I wish there was some way I could help you feel better. Yeah, welcome in, Peter. I can't believe she hasn't been charged. And I think if people stop talking about Maddie, then Jenn gets away with it. She gets to forget about her daughter. She gets to just go on and live her life. And I don't want to see that. Yeah, sharing the same bed. Actually sending her daughter upstairs with that guy to the guest room where there's only one bed, where there's a lock on the door, and she was happy with that. But I think, and I will be going back through Stephan, I can't remember her ex-husband's name. I will be going back through his interview because he specifically said that there were times when Jenn just completely checked out and it was up to him to look after the kids, his daughter and Maddie. So I suspect that's all that Stephan was for her. He was just a convenient babysitter, someone who could just take over when she wanted to check out. I know I hate that every time I try and talk about Maddie, YouTube penalises me. The channel, The Docket, he's not on YouTube anymore. And I don't know the full situation. I asked Paula and she said it was some sort of breach of terms and services. But I'm willing to bet it was connected with Maddie's case because he was being demonetised left, right and centre as well. So he probably was trying to do something to actually have his videos and live streams monetized, and it probably backfired. I don't know. YouTube needs to do better. I'm just going to put it as that because, I mean, it's not just the limiting what people can cover. When I did the live stream, or I can't remember if it was a live stream or a video, a few weeks back when I mentioned about Adam Montgomery, I probably shouldn't even mention his name, about his thing being overturned. that video was demonetized as well. They're quick to turn around and say, oh, we don't think these are going to be suitable for advertisers. And yet they do throw advertising at the start of them anyway, regardless of whether or not we get the money for it. And some of the things that they do throw in advertising for, these don't compare. You know, on top, not just the topic kind of things that they do throw in advertising for, but the videos that are nothing but bullying other content creators. And YouTube sees nothing wrong with them, and they throw in ads here, there, and everywhere. Exactly. It is really clear. Florida law is really, really clear in terms of what offences Jenn could be charged with. And yet, it didn't happen. And we all kind of we didn't get a chance to speak up and get loud about it because we were all sitting here believing that, oh, they just don't want her to be a hostile witness, so they're going to wait till after his trial. And we waited till after his trial, and guess what? Jenn gets to walk away. I like the way you put that, BTTV. I probably won't put it up on the screen, though. That's so good. So in this live stream, I'm going to keep going through some of the media from around the time when Maddie went missing. I played one of Jenn's interviews last week, and I'm going to start with the one where you get the cat feeder or dog feeder or whatever making that noise in the background, that really disturbing one. So I'll pull that up on stage. There's also, I won't look at it today, but apparently Court TV did a recent focus on Maddie again, and I would like to look at that at some point in a live stream. So let's bring up the Soto herself. Let's see how many Soto size we get.
So the first question is if I can have your first, your last name, and spell them both out for me.
Okay. Jennifer Soto, JenniferSoto.
Mother.
Mother.
Jennifer, tell me how you feeling right now.
I feel like I can't breathe. All I keep thinking about is, where is she?
Says she feels like she can't breathe, but she doesn't say. Like, she doesn't sound like she can't breathe. It's just like, Po Soto, yeah. Okay. Any guesses on how many sides we're going to get in this interview? Now, I can't remember how long this interview was, but I think the Soto size kind of increased when she was being interviewed by detectives. So, probably fewer in this one. You're guessing 7 plus? 37? I'm probably going with, I'm not sure, maybe 5 or less, just because I think they did increase. But you guys could be right with the 37 and the 25 because we got so many damn Soto size from this woman. Yes, Maddie couldn't breathe either. Actually, Jenn's demonstrating that she can breathe quite fine. and she's not showing what I would expect to be real signs of distress here. The fact that she's looking up, and I will, yeah, plus the leg shaking up and down. Oh, the woman drives me mad. I'm going to run it back just a bit. But here she is looking up and trying to think what to say next. I'm sorry, but if someone asks you how you are feeling, you shouldn't need to be thinking about it. I think she's planned beforehand to say, oh, yeah, I can't breathe. And now she's trying to think what else to say. She looks like a 3/4 zip sweatshirt threw up a lying licorice chip. Yeah. Her body language looks more like early withdrawal from benzos. It does look like a withdrawal rather than a reaction to your child being missing. But she is definitely, she's trying to remember her script or trying to come up with new additions to the script. We shouldn't see this from a mother whose child is missing. She shouldn't have to think about what she's going to tell them. I'll run it back and we'll watch her again.
Okay. So the first question is if I can have your first, your last name, and spell them both out for me.
Okay. Jennifer Soto. JenniferSoto.
Mother.
Mother.
Jennifer, tell me how you feeling right now.
I feel like I can't breathe. All I keep thinking about is, where is she? Is she safe? Is she okay? But we're all a wreck. My entire family is a mess. We're just so worried.
Did you notice the eye blocking when she said so worried? Yeah. Not only that, remember in the body camera footage, I'm not sure if I played the right one. I think it's in the other one that there's 2 lots of body cam footage from when they went to Yolanda's work. And they asked her for a photo of Maddie. And she had to look for a photo. She had to really hunt in her phone for a photo of her daughter. Yeah. She looks at him to give her name. After that, none at all. And the eyes are just going everywhere, all over the place. Hi, Princess Pillow. Good to see you in here. Yeah, Lizette, welcome in. Looks like she's sitting in the space shuttle getting ready for takeoff. Shake, shake, shake. She's such a horrid woman. Such a horrid woman. Yeah. She had to get someone else's photo of her daughter to give to law enforcement. How disgusting is that? It's incomprehensible. It really is. I can't remember, but it was someone who had been at Maddie's birthday. Obviously, but I think it might have been Yolanda's possibly, but I can't remember. But honestly, just the you just have to watch her eyes. Even without all the shaking and all the other crap. I believe that she did. I believe that she knew what happened. There's too much leakage from this woman. And even after Sterns was arrested, she was still protecting him. Welcome in, Rita. And welcome in, Karen, as well. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear when you look at that body cam footage when they went to the house, like the evening after they'd reported Maddie missing. They went back to the house and they were back into the rugs. She was off the show when the police turned up to talk to her. How awful is that? The fact that she had no photos and he had far, far, far too many. Yeah, her family did all that. She did nothing. Absolutely nothing. And like someone mentioned, she had 3 hours while she was waiting for the police to get photos. But the thing with that too, the thing that blows my mind, put yourself in a position, let's pretend this is not Jenn Soto. Let's just pretend this is a real mother, a mother who genuinely cares about her kids. Put yourself in a position where you really had no way of getting out of work. And let's say the party couldn't be changed because your mother had organised it and there were all these family members coming, so she couldn't rearrange the party time. What's the first thing you're going to do when you're at work and you know your kid's at their 13th birthday party? Because if it was me, I'd be messaging my mother or my sister and saying, send me some photos. Like that beautiful dress that Maddie was wearing. I'm guessing Maddie wasn't wearing that when Jenn went to work. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Maddie must have stayed at Yolanda's, like after Juan took her out for burgers. I think she then stayed at Yolanda's. So Jenn hadn't even seen Maddie in that beautiful little dress. So wouldn't you, if you were at work and your kid was having her 13th birthday, wouldn't you be messaging family and saying, can you please just send me some photos from the birthday so I can feel like I'm there? Send me a photo of her in her dress. Yeah. She had to have breaks. But apparently not. Like, it just, yeah, and Malaya didn't have photos either. Yeah. Yeah, like, even just to FaceTime and say happy birthday. But it's like she just went, okay, I'm going to go to work now. I'm just going to forget about the fact that my kid's having her 13th birthday. And the thing that aggravates me too with that is, she's like, oh, it's a new job and I'm doing training, and I couldn't change my schedule. If you cared enough, you got a new job and you knew that your daughter's 13th birthday was coming up, wouldn't that be important enough for you to tell your employer, look, can we work around this? Because I'm willing to bet that she never asked. Because I've been told that, and I don't think I can mention that company either, but the company that starts with D that she was working for, I've been told that they're very much family first. Yep. That damn interview, the video interview, which I will be doing, going through that. When do we see Jenn get emotional? Jenn gets emotional because her birthday's ruined. And I hope that her birthday is horrible for the rest of her life. Yeah. She could have scheduled the party for another day. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's a reason. Maybe Yolanda was, not going to change the time of the party. But from everything we know, the employer that she was working for, had they known, are very supportive of families. So I suspect that had she told her supervisor, that they would have said, sure, you can take Sunday night off and let's reschedule and you can come in on Monday instead. Or even asking, can I work earlier? Drive safely. Anyway, a bit more of this.
When did you first realize, or when did you file a missing report?
We filed a missing report. We called the police at like 4:45 yesterday, 4:45 p.m. But she actually went missing early that morning, around between 8:45 and 9 o'clock in the morning. She went missing. We had dropped her off close to the school.
2 lies in less than a minute. We filed a missing persons report. We called it in. You did nothing, Jenn. You sat there and watched while Letitia called it in. You sat there and watched when later Letitia rang back and when Yolanda rang back. You did nothing. And I'm pretty certain the only reason that she went back to the school with Yolanda was because she had no choice. She probably got to Yolanda's office and Yolanda said, well, let's go. We need to go back and check the school. Because Jenn never checked the school before. And then the second lie, we dropped her off at school. Didn't take her long to lose that lie. Yeah. She's certainly trying to avoid something. Was it Tyler or Stephan said that Jenn usually avoided family gatherings? I mean, you just have to look at the body language in Yolanda's office. No one was trying to comfort Jenn. No one was anywhere near Jenn except for him. Definitely it's all about Jenn. That's simply put 100% all about Jenn.
She wanted to walk the rest of the way. Sorry.
Can I just point out, this shows you what vibe the news station got from her. Because if they thought she was someone likable, if they thought she was a mother who was genuinely concerned about their missing child, they would have edited that bit out. But instead, they left it in. And it's one of these moments that makes her look really bad.
That should be it. Sorry about that. We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk.
Got the narrative wrong there a bit, Jenn, didn't you? Dropped her off at school? Oh, close to school. I want to ask people's thoughts on Jenn's mouth. Yeah, because it's a constructed narrative. The fact that she is, early on in the game, using we for what is very much a constructed narrative, that shows us that she participated in constructing that narrative. She's not relaying back a story that Sterns told her. She's giving a shared narrative. Yeah, close to school. 9-minute walk away across the 4-lane road, because that's what you do. You get a lot of the lip resetting, but something else that I'm trying to figure out if it's just Jenn or if it is actually contempt, and that is her lips have that asymmetry going on so much. Yeah, the eye blocking happens quite a bit with her closing her eyes. So that's something to pay attention to with Jenn, because she does do the eye blocking. When she closes her eyes, pay attention to what she's saying when she does that. But also, I'm just trying to figure out if the asymmetry with her mouth is just a Jenn thing, or if it is some sort of contempt. And if it's contempt, is it for Maddie, or is it for Sterns, or is it for the pair of them? And yeah, that's what the eye blocking is. It's essentially, you see that with people, they'll either look away, or if they really don't want you to, it's like they think that you can read their mind if you look into their eyes. So you get this eye blocking where they close their eyes, and if you pay attention to what they're saying at the time, usually there's key words that pop out as they say it.
The rest of the way. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable.
Translation, I forgot the narrative. I can't remember where to go with the narrative from here. Because you could see the way she's just staring at nothing while she's trying to remember the narrative. I've already lost count of the size. I think with 3 or 4.
Sharing. I know you had conversations with detectives. Not sure what that conversation is, but whichever you feel comfortable sharing, that we'll put the awareness out there.
Yeah, she was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school, on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave.
A few things to note here. She's not using Maddie's name because she knows that's not Maddie on the cameras. But it's all very passive. She was spotted. But it's all she, her, no Maddie. Because she knows that that was not Maddie on the cameras. Yeah, just all lies. Yeah, she's smiling at the dog feeder with his voice. And yeah, I'm going to try and pay more attention to see when we are getting that with the lips. Because it does seem we're getting the contempt showing when she's talking about Maddie. She does seem withdrawn, but I also think she's a little bit self-medicated.
Didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
What does the school say?
Every time, it's she never made it. Now, one of the things that the detectives point out, and it is so obvious here, Jenn never questions the big gap in the time frame here. Because Stephan's like, well, we left early. We made good time. And Jenn's just casually going, yeah, she's seen on camera about 9 o'clock. You never hear her questioning the massive, massive gap in the timeline. It only takes, is it 20 minutes to get from the townhouse to Maddie's school? Yeah. Yep, the biting of the lip. I definitely will do this, like some of these with Jenn, as a separate video where I take my time to really look at everything that's going on with her. Because there are so many tells. It's so clear that she knew, in my opinion.
Have you given in contact with the school?
Yes, that they're doing everything they can. They've given me all their resources. The principals called me. They've looked at their cameras. I don't think they've caught anything on the cameras that's too far away from the sidewalk. Everything is too grainy, so they can't see specific faces. But they've looked. I'm just waiting to hear anything else from them.
Is this normal behavior?
And we get the lips again, the lip lock. I wonder if she's the one that asked them about the cameras. Because one of the things I speculated with Jenn is that the reason she wanted to be at the front of the pickup line was to be seen. The reason she left home an hour before school finished was so that she could be seen at the front of the pickup line to create that alibi of, I know nothing, I wasn't expecting that Maddie wouldn't turn up. Little Liar McLiarson. I like that. So very much. Everything that's going on with Jenn's face gives her away so much. The lip lock, the eye blocking, that glare when she's trying to remember the narrative, so much.
Not
To
at all.
just not show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no.
Actually, I want to go back. I didn't catch what the lip lock was over. Just go back a few seconds. If I can make it move, you sod.
So they can't see specific faces, but they've looked. I'm just waiting to hear anything else from them.
Is this normal behavior?
Not
To
at all.
just not show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no.
She's waiting to hear more from the school about cameras. Is that what she's... Wonder what the story is there. Does she know where there's cameras? Is that why we're getting the lip lock? Interesting.
From time to time, she will leave her cell phone at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone.
Bull crap,
at
Jen.
home. She went to school.
Interesting that you get the... Yeah, the school didn't believe her either. Yeah, she locked her lips because she knew Maddie wasn't at the school. Interesting the way she narrowed her eyes when she's talking there about Maddie. Welcome in, Fred. So many. Yep, definitely.
Show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no. From time to time, she will leave her cell phone at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone at home. She went to school.
So it's while she's talking about Maddie leaving her phone at home, she's got her eyes really, really narrowed. And then at home, she does the eye blocking. She knows. And detectives called her on this. She knows that it's not regular for Maddie to leave her phone at home. Yeah. Or even Tyler. I think Tyler was not present. He made poor choices. But, you know, he says that he spoke to her before she left, when he saw her in October, and asked her about if she wanted to live with him. And you can't help thinking, only if. Oh, she's definitely got to be on stuff. What Deborah is saying. Yeah, not just that she didn't know how to get home from school, but she didn't even know what her address was. It's funny because, and maybe it's just something that's not done these days. But I can remember one of the few memories I have from when I was really, really little, when I was in, like, you know, prep or grade 1 or something. And I can remember our teacher actually teaching us to tell people our phone number. Well, you know, not to just go up to random strangers, but teaching us, like, encouraging us to learn our phone numbers and recite our phone numbers. And, you know, encouraging us to recite our addresses. Now, I guess in this day and age, you probably wouldn't be encouraging children that much, and that would probably be an at-home thing. Yes. Who doesn't know where their kids live? My gosh. The number of times my mother drove my friends home when I was a kid. I mean, most of my friends lived, within walking distance, because it was, that typical neighbourhood where everyone grew up together, and everyone went to the same school, and you'd go to the local park and everyone would be there. But honestly, she didn't even know where Maddie's best friend lived. It's so sad. Yeah. Well, didn't, and I'm not going to name the best friend, but didn't her best friend say that she'd only been to Maddie's place once? And, like, he was there lurking and then he went upstairs or something like that.
But that happens from time to time. She's got ADHD, her memory, she's very forgetful. So yeah, there's no way to track her right now because the detectives now have her phone.
Again, there's no way to track her right now. We couldn't even make contact with her. It's about, you can't track her. You can't find her. There's nothing on her that will allow you to track her. The wording to me is important. Yeah, she couldn't be bothered letting Maddie have time with her friends. Yeah, that video of Maddie speaking Spanish when she was 3. Oh my gosh, Maddie was such a little cutie, wasn't she? I think anything that Maddie got taught, I reckon, was taught to her by Yolanda. And when she was younger, was taught to her by Stephan. I think Jenn's just a kind of a worthless potato, in my honest opinion. You had one of the flatmates saying that Jenn that Maddie liked cooking with her or something. I can't remember. Maddie was a beautiful little soul. She deserved better than that woman. And certainly better than that man. He should never have been in her life.
But this isn't normal behavior now.
What was the last thing, I guess, the conversation that you two had, you and your daughter?
We spoke about her birthday party. She had a birthday party on Sunday. She had a great time. I couldn't make it because I was working. But she had an amazing time. She was so happy with all her gifts. I told her good night, and yeah, that was it.
She straight away gets into the narrative. You just see this complete change. She's rehearsed this in her mind so much that suddenly she's relieved because she knows how to give this narrative. Yeah, Maddie was 13. No, the other daughter was actually a stepdaughter. So she's a few years older than Maddie, and she was the daughter of Jenn's ex-husband. Her and Maddie still kept in contact quite a bit, but they didn't live nearby. Yeah, but the victim blaming as well, oh, she's got ADHD, she forgets her phone all the time, all this negativity about Maddie. Yeah, who tells them good night? That's that's disturbing. That's really disturbing. Both really disturbing individuals. Don't get me started on Casey Anthony.
I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner.
13.
That was my partner. But yeah, lip lock. That's after, when she was giving the narrative earlier, it was we took her to school. Yes. I told him, my partner, Daniel, same again. And he wasn't even her partner then. Casey Anthony is a sick individual, and I should actually do a video or a live stream on that case, because the whole world needs to know that story, in my opinion. Yeah, but yeah. This is when she doesn't know how to connect the parts of her narrative, it seems. So she keeps hitting a brick wall with her narrative. So she pauses with, but yeah. The woman makes me sick. She really does.
Years old, yes.
13, Madeline.
Madeline.
What are you thinking right now?
In my heart, I feel like somebody took her. This isn't like her to just pick up and run away.
Is it like a handbook? Yeah, I think somebody took her. I'd like it to be an Amber Alert. Not that I think that they've been abducted, but they could. Yeah, in her heart. Like BS. It's always the same line from these parents. Yeah, another one whose heart is telling them stuff. Oh, yeah, Sammy Smith did that too. I'd forgotten that. When she's running out of things to say. So, yeah. True, someone did take her. And Jenn knows. But they all can't come up with exactly the same story.
Not go to school.
Hang on.
What are you thinking right now?
In my heart, I feel like somebody took her. This isn't like her to just pick up and run away, or just not go to school. I don't know what to think.
Friends, the friends' parents, you've contacted and
Everyone.
went through every single person?
Everyone.
I know there's been a lot of debate, but I do feel that Jenn knew. I think there's a lot of leakage from her. I've lost track of how many sides it was. I was trying to count. Actually, I'm thinking that obviously when we were first watching these early interviews, we hadn't actually labelled it the Soto Psy and maybe weren't quite as aware of it. Because in my mind, I was thinking there weren't quite so many Soto Psys, but we're getting them thick, like just one Soto Psy after the next, and they are so long. She's not begging for help. She's being very careful. You're getting a lot of the eye blocking. You are getting a lot of the lip locking. almost zero eye contact. There's a lot of evasion happening with the body language that I can see.
We know that she knows. We've contacted them all, reached out to them.
Hang on, what was that shrug?
Just pick up and run away, or just not go to school. I don't know what to think.
Friends, the friends' parents, you've contacted and went through every single person?
Everyone that we know that she knows, we've contacted them all, reached out to them. The parents have gone out to search and look for her as well.
So the shrugging on, we've contacted everyone that she knows, but it is only one shoulder shrugging. So to me, that is actually showing some contempt there. Be interesting to see a lip vid on Jenn that shows her speaking and lip locking in time 5 times speed. Wonder how many there'd be from this stale French fry. Good question. You know that I'm going to do that, right? After this live stream, you know I'm going to get into InShot. I'm going to whack these interviews into InShot. Drop the audio and crank it up to, I'm not sure if I've got 5 times speed. I might have to do it 2 times over to get it to 5. But you know I'm going to do it. And we're going to see so much from her. Yeah, detachment or checked out or both. She's definitely on something when she's doing this interview. But looking at that one-sided shrug, it wasn't her idea to contact Maddie's friends, in my opinion. No, the friends didn't believe her, from the sound of it.
We haven't come up with anything yet.
I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook, Hunters Creek rants and raves and what have you. Did people say that they were going to conduct some type of like search party or anything?
A lot of people have asked me to volunteer, like if there is one, if they can do one. I have people passing out flyers, going to every store in that vicinity, a gas station, church.
And on that, I just want to point out, Maddie's best friend, her father put in a full day's work. And he came home and his daughter told him that Maddie was missing. And even though he'd put in a full day's work, he went out for hours and hours searching in the woods for Maddie. What did Jenn do? Nothing. I mean, such a stark contrast. Not his daughter. Put in a full day's work. Knew that he had to work the next day. Went out for hours searching the woods for his best friend, for his daughter's best friend. What was Jenn doing then? Jenn was sitting at home getting high. You are so right about that, Chrissy. Because while he was out searching for Maddie, Jenn was sitting at home getting high. Along with that guy.
I think people were being stopped in the street this morning in front of the school to see if they've seen anything, if they've heard anything. My family they're going all out right now. Yeah.
I know as a mother, a lot is going on in your brain.
So much.
To bring her back home. What have the law enforcement told you that you are able to share?
I mean, that they're doing the best they can. They've had detectives come out, interview us. They took a piece of her clothing for the canine dog to see if they can sniff her out. I'm not sure when that's being done.
Stale fries are nice, nasty potatoes. Now, in terms of the timeline, this interview had to be in the afternoon of the day after Maddie was reported missing, because Detective Hunt interviewed Jenn that morning and took Maddie's phone. So she's already mentioned they've taken Maddie's phone. So not long after this interview was when Detective Tagler, and I can't remember who was with her at the time, when that dynamic duo came and interviewed Jenn and Stephan and then threw them out of the apartment. Yeah, the bug eyes, honestly. You are so true. You're so spot on. There was nothing going on in her brain. Nothing whatsoever. Other than trying to remember the constructed narrative, in my opinion.
Do you have any inkling where she possibly could be? Like if you would say, okay, last time I went to work and came back, she was at James' house or Sabrina's house, and maybe I forgot to check that house, or she played at this park one week and maybe she went back there or something like that.
We've looked everywhere we could have thought, and anywhere she would have been. She would have known to wait for me at the school.
Again, the eye narrowing, as she's saying, we've looked all these places. We haven't seen a lot in terms of Jenn for full baseline. But she was medicated every time she was on camera. We'll just put it that way. She was on very strong drugs for her bipolar, but it seems pretty clear that she was also self-medicating, which does make it harder to really tell what's going on there. And yet she's still giving us plenty of cues there. I'm definitely going to do this as a video, as a proper analysis, because going back and watching it now and paying attention to these things, it really is quite revealing, in my opinion. And Amira's down there snoring, of course. Yeah. And this is, I believe, why she was so knocked out all the time and why he was able to do what he did. That is brilliant. If the potato took a lie detector test, you would use an air fryer. Oh, that is too good. I think Malaya was in shock, but I think there could have been some rugs on board as well. That air fryer line is the best. Yeah. Exactly. This interview is from WFTV. But yeah, WTF TV is certainly more appropriate. You don't have to be quiet. We're here for Maddie, and if that means stripping the potato and frying the potato, that's what we do. You know, so many of us know this case intimately. Oh, I tell you what, I definitely want to go back to talking about her and Chris, because whoa, what can you say about them? Not a nice pair of individuals, and they're the reason he's like he is.
But we did check where if she could have walked. My mom's office is close to the school. We checked there. We checked the walking paths that she could have taken. We've checked all of her friend's house. I think we've checked everywhere I could think of, honestly.
What do you think? Oh God.
Just a minuscule bit of eye blocking when she said, "I think we've checked everywhere." Oh my gosh. That would be phenomenal. I am going to do that. I am so going to do that. I'm just making a note. Because, boy, would that be interesting. Welcome in, Kimberly. Boy, that would be so interesting. I just got lost there. Hang on.
Paths that she could have taken. We've checked all of her friend's house. I think we've checked everywhere I could think of, honestly.
What do you think? Oh gosh, I just had it tip of my tongue. What was she wearing?
She was last seen wearing a green hoodie, black shorts, white Crocs, a black JanSport backpack with gray hibiscus flowers on it.
And you said this is not.
Yeah, thank you. You've just helped me with what I was going to comment on. We've checked everywhere. We've already thought of everything. She isn't anywhere. Yeah, no point looking. It's like Janie with I told them not to worry about checking the cabins because we've already checked there. And then now we hear Belinda saying that Janie actually got Justin to park his car down at the boom gate for those cabins so that people wouldn't go up there. I don't know. I'm thinking those of you who were following me when I was covering this case, you know I don't need much prompting when it comes to Jennifer Soto or to that loser. Maybe I'm the bad influence. But yeah, she was essentially saying, you don't need to search, we've done that. Yeah. One house. And no, they didn't check that friend's house. All she did was ring that friend and say, we dropped her off at school. Zero curiosity. Yeah, exactly. It's all about ticking boxes here. That's all she's doing. She's not concerned about her daughter. She's just making sure that she's ticking all the boxes.
Her
Not at all.
to run away, an argument, anything like that to provoke her?
She's never done anything like this, no. And we haven't had any arguments recently to have this outcome.
What's
Okay, for anyone who's not familiar with this case, Jen saying Maddie's never done anything like this is also a big whopper, because you hear in the interview with Yolanda that I can't remember, it was like, you know, the year before, at some point in time, Maddie had an argument with Jen and she had taken off. And she rang her grandmother because she was upset with Jen and she was off wandering somewhere. And Yolanda was like, you have to go back home. So we know that Maddie has done this before. And there is, in one of the interviews, I think Jen mentions that Maddie used to go and sit on a pier like that lake that's behind their townhouse, and she's like, Maddie used to go sit there. But I'd watch her like Janie watching the children. Oh, we can only wish. We really can only wish. We're heading up towards 12 months when Stephan made his plea, aren't we? That would have been about June or July. I know I was already covering Lily and Jack, so it's definitely got to be, we definitely must be around the 12-month mark. I just think I cannot understand why this woman got off scot-free. It's not right.
Hunters Creek Middle School.
Tom, any questions?
No.
Is there anything that you think our viewers would need to know about the way you're feeling, the way the family's feeling, Madeline?
We are desperate for any answers, anything that you could do to help. I'm here for it. Just please, if
I'm here for it. That's a bit of a Sammy Smith thing too, isn't it, really? We're desperate for any answers, or she's not like trying to address someone in terms of, we just want Maddie back, please, you know, help us. If you've seen her, help us. And it's the prompted thing again, like Daniel. Oh, and the message still is, oh yeah, the message still is this. It's always a red flag when they have to be prompted with things like this.
if you see my daughter, just please bring her home. I just hope you're okay, Maddie. I hope you're safe.
Leaf lock straight after, please bring her home. Just want to point that out. I agree. I really hope that this is still haunting her. I hope this woman is getting no sleep. July 21. Oh my gosh. It's taken me nearly a year to come back to talking about Maddie because I was so heartbroken over what happened in court. Because she knows that no one's bringing Maddie home. She's definitely up there with Casey Anthony. I wonder if she's started to acknowledge that what she did was wrong, or whether maybe she's coping with this by still blaming Maddie and telling herself she didn't do anything wrong.
I hope you're not hurt. I just hope she's okay.
When did you notice that she was missing? Because this was at the beginning of the morning.
She got dropped off in the morning. We did not notice until after school pickup at 4 o'clock when I went to go pick her up and she wasn't at school.
Again, we didn't notice until after school pickup. Well, you did the after school pickup on your own, Jen. Yeah. Quite possible. I just can't understand why she's not been locked up.
So we're going in 24 hours now.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. No word. No text message. No messages anywhere from her. I've looked at all her social medias. I've looked at all her games she could have played with. Any app. No weird.
Okay, so something I want to bring up here. This is something that Chris McDonough has spoken about in the past. And that is because he was instrumental in creating these card teams, the child abduction rapid response teams. He was a part of that. And he's been involved with a lot of things like that. And one of the things that he was a part of, one of the things that he was involved in, is there's actually a list of questions that get given to the media when it comes to missing children. And these questions have been put together by the likes of Chris McDonough, your card team kind of people. And they actually help with the investigation. And I'm just going to say this anyway, because I figure that, future people future Jenn Sotos probably aren't studying this right now. But they have basically created a list of questions for media to ask parents when children go missing. And it gives cues, it gives some understanding of what's going on here. Now, when he said to her, it's been over 24 hours, the expected response for a parent who is freaking out because their child's missing and they don't know anything, that's pushing a button. That is pushing the panic button. That is intentional. This interview pushed the panic button and Jenn did not react. If you point out, if you put it in words that their child has been missing for over 24 hours now, you're pushing the panic button. And you should get a response. You should get an emotional response. And we got nothing. It didn't even register in her brain. I'm going to run that back just a little bit so you can see what I mean.
This was at the beginning of the morning.
She got dropped off in the morning. We did not notice until after school pickup at 4 o'clock when I went to go pick her up, and she wasn't at school.
So we're going in 24 hours now.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. No word. No text message. No messages anywhere from her. I've looked at all her social medias. I've looked at all her games she could have played with. Any app. No weird conversations. Nothing strange. Everything was conversations with just normal friends or us.
How icky is it? Becky, I agree with what you're saying. Unfortunately, I can't put it up on the screen, but I agree with you 100%. Yeah, definitely she's doing the self-soothing. How disturbing is it, her talking about checking the apps in case there was a predator? Because for those of you who may not be hugely familiar with Maddie's case, Maddie's music teacher got arrested because of how he was using Roblox with young boys, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So when we're talking about this in terms of Maddie's case, it's disturbing. Yeah, welcoming Creamy. Now I did a video where I looked at how close Jenn's friend was to where Maddie was found. And it's really, really close. And I do believe that Stephan was headed for one of those lakes. And that had he not got that flat tyre, we might have had a different story. Maybe Maddie would never have been found, which is alarming. He would have been still locked up for good, thankfully. But, you know, Maddie might not have been brought home. Yeah. She's a bit slow. You know what potatoes are like. They're not really... Oh, yes, the music teacher was Jenn's #1 call as well. I'd forgotten that he was the first person she contacted. Oh, ugh. How disturbing.
She knows how to get home by herself, as if, like, let's just say, to take a bus or an Uber or something like that. She would know how to get home alone, correct?
I don't know if she would know how to get home. Maybe, I mean, if someone... I'm thinking if someone got in the car with her and if she...
Yep. When you got to get the spare tyre out of the trunk. There was definitely... Maddie had guardian angels. That's for sure. That's got to be the best example of karma in history, in my opinion. That question about Maddie knowing her way home, I think that really threw her for a loop. It really took her a while to figure out what to say. I agree with the people that are saying that she probably had no idea, like that Maddie probably did know how to get home. Because the thing is, if she did know what happened to Maddie, and they're asking her, does she know how to get home? If she were to turn around and say, well, yes, she knows how to get home, that's going to lead to all other manner of questions. If someone got in the car with her, yeah, I think that's what she said, in terms of, oh, someone got in the car with her and said, like, you know, give us directions. I'll run it back a little bit. Yeah, it's weird that he's got this loyalty that he won't flip on her. Yeah, I think Maddie knew her address and how to get home, but, you know, when you're trying to push this narrative that she's missing, you don't want to give anything that would give any sort of suggestion that maybe she could figure out how to get home. Especially if you're trying to push this idea of someone took her.
Conversations with just normal friends or us.
She knows how to get home by herself, as if, like, let's just say, to take a bus or an Uber or something like that. She would know how to get home alone, correct?
I don't know if she would know how to get home. Maybe, I mean, if someone, I'm thinking if someone got in the car with her and if she pointed the way, what roads, she probably could figure out how to get, but, like, does she know her full address? I don't think she does.
Which would give me it just puts in my brain that she always comes home with someone.
She always comes home with me.
There's no need for her to really learn. Okay. And you said no time? He knows everything.
Wow. I'm just reading. You think it was a community of PDFs that had normalized these practices. Don't forget, there was a USB that was found, which Chris claims that he found in Stephan's room. And that had thousands of images on it, none of which were Maddie, and they had said that they didn't think they could identify. So I'd heard of that, wasn't it like a Bradley Prescott or something in Ontario? So is that like he was part of that and there were 67 people charged with 103 offences against 8 kids? Wow. So much bouncing from Jenn, yeah.
Explain to us.
Sorry, I should have pre-warned you. This is so triggering. This is so triggering. I hate watching this. But let's just do it and get it out of the way.
Dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. It's the last time we saw her.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much.
Welcome in, Jeannie. Good to see you here. I've picked up rocks with more personality. Yep, I am hearing you. Yeah, no concern whatsoever. No concern whatsoever. Now, he's giving himself away with his body language already, shaking his head when he's saying he dropped her off or whatever it was he just said. I'm not going to go backwards with any of his. I'm just going to play it through and pause because I can't stand this guy. So good to see you in here, Jeannie.
To sleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said thanks, love you too.
How dare he? I still get so triggered listening to this. told her I loved her.
That was it.
And so where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off.
Oh my God. She's not the type that would just run off. What does Malaya say? They're not the type that we tell them not to go, that garbled BS that Malaya came out with. I know, I'm literally gripping my hands right now. I have my elbows rammed onto my desk and I'm gripping my hands. And I'm trying not to let my shoulders and neck go so tight. Because this guy triggers me so much.
We don't know where she can be. We're scared. We just want her home.
Are you?
Thanks for coming in, Gutter Snipe. Yeah, it's time that we started getting loud again for Maddie. It's time that Jenn also paid the consequences. I know, he's just so sickening. Not only that, but then for his mother to come out and say, look how torn up he was when he did that interview. And she's like, I could see that was genuine. Get real, Deb. Not Deborah here, Deb Sterns, Mummy Sterns.
In a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to.
Why?
I dropped her off early. I could have waited longer.
The irony there, I've just got to say, do you blame yourself? And he's like, it's hard not to. But he's not showing any level of remorse. He should be blaming himself here. But he doesn't believe it. And he's saying it's because he was the one who dropped her off. Total deflection. But there's absolutely no sign of remorse, no sign of distress. When he's been specifically asked, do you blame yourself? Yep. She can comfort him, she can't say Maddie's name. Not only that, but those interviews, even after he was locked up, she was still defending him.
She looked okay. She was walking towards the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day. It's hard not to blame myself.
What has the conversation been with Jenn since?
She's been a lot stronger than me. She's been holding it together really well. And, but it just...
What a narcissist. Even trying to get sympathy for himself. Like, poor me, I'm so distraught that Maddie's missing. Give me sympathy. Geez, I hope people are giving him special sympathy right now.
In waves, this reality keeps hitting. We don't know where she is. We don't know if she's safe. We're just scared. We just want her home.
Have you...
Do you think he learnt the Soto side from her? Or did she learn the Soto side from him and then just mastered it? Because they both do it. He's such a narcissist. You probably noticed that everything he's saying, he's shaking his head. Everything is, he's like, nah, this isn't true. Shaking his head the whole way through. Yeah, wiping away the fake tear.
Like literally put boots on the ground, went out?
Yeah, I even went out with the cops where I had dropped her off. And we looked all up and down the road, all along the communities, and there was nothing helpful. None of the cameras were pointing the street. Nothing, which in 2024 was surprising.
Yeah, so sad, Stephan, that none of the cameras are facing the street. And I bet you asked investigators that as well. Sadly, I don't think they'll ever put him out in Gen Pop because he really does need a whole lot of special sympathy. Yeah, he's just... Yeah, probably. Don't forget, this was day 2, and we know that the night before, well, let's go backwards. So the night before that was when it happened. And based on what he was saying to Mummy Dearest, it sounds like he was probably up wandering the house for part of that night. And then the night before this interview, you had police there interviewing them at the townhouse around midnight. And yeah, I will rewind it for that bit. Police had been around at the house at midnight, and it was not long after that. Now, I can't remember the time frame exactly. I'd have to go back through the documents. But it was not long after police left that he, or presumably he, hopped in Jen's car and went back out to St. Cloud. So when he did this interview, he was well and truly sleep deprived. So yeah, it is quite possible that it could have been.
She's been a lot stronger than me. She's been holding it together really well, but it just keeps coming in waves. Just the reality keeps hitting. We don't know where she is. We don't know if she's safe. We're just scared. We just want her home.
Have you, like, literally put boots on the ground, went out?
Yeah, I even went out with the cops where I had dropped her off. And
I even went out with the cops, like you had a choice in the matter. They were like, we've got dogs. You're coming with us to show us the location where you claim to have dropped her off so that we can take our dogs around that location, see if they pick up a scent. But of course, he can't say that, so he's got to make it sound like he was like, oh, you know, like Daniel, I gave them everything I need, even offered them my phone. Yeah. Yeah, so true. The only thing they argued over is what Maddie was wearing. And she corrected him. That was such a red flag.
we looked all up and down the road, all along the communities, and there was nothing helpful. None of the cameras were pointing the street. Nothing, which in 2024 was surprising. The church across the street had some cameras, and they mentioned seeing her waiting around in the parking lot for a while before moving on, and that was it. But it was grainy. It was grainy footage, and not much else.
Does it seem like she walked west, east?
They said in the direction of the school. I'm not sure what that is.
What was the language?
Shaking his head the whole time. Straight up, his body language is telling us that he's lying. Yeah, Jen did at first say that she saw Maddie that morning. She also told multiple people that they took Maddie to school. And she never talks about when, oh no, he never talks about Sailor. Like, she talks about him coming in to collect Sailor, I think it is. He never mentions it. And the other thing I forgot to mention with Jen's interview that we were watching, they ask for a description of what she was wearing. She gives a description down to the white Crocs. And yet there was one of those white Crocs was still in Jen's room. Yeah, I think so. But she still stood up for that mongrel. Yeah, the put on voice. It's as bad as the mother of little Javaya trying to put on a voice to make it sound like they're emotional when they're not. YouTube keeps deleting your comment. If it's something about Sterns, that's okay. We understand exactly what you are thinking. Yep.
Language verbally, body language. When you dropped her off, did she seem happy? Was she like, I'm going to meet my friends?
Happy. She had a happy weekend. She just turned 13. She had a 13th birthday party. She was happy that we were all together here, and she's just very happy. She was a happy kid. She's very sweet. She's a very sweet girl.
Oh, he makes me so angry. You know, I think that Lorena Bobbitt should be given a special job when it comes to dealing with people like this guy. I'm not going to, if you don't know who Lorena Bobbitt is, you can look her up. But someone should introduce her to this guy, in my opinion. Yeah, the Oscar goes to, he's just, oh, he's horrid.
It's a lot of joy to us, and we just not knowing.
So the unknown is killing you.
Yeah, it's like our whole world is upside down. And not feeling her presence here is... Sorry. It's hard.
Oh no, you're fine. No need to apologize. What do you want our viewers to know when they see this?
Gutter Snipe, I think a lot of people would volunteer. Personally, I wouldn't want to get near the man. That's why I think they should just employ Lorena Bobbitt, or Lorena, how we pronounce it. I think should be really good for him. Yes, even Chris said that. He said if he'd have seen these interviews, and yet Mummy Sterns is like, oh, I could just see how distraught he was. You can see how real the emotion was. Like, get real, Mama Sterns. You got no idea.
Sweetheart. She's a very sweet, kind girl. Just please be nice to her. Bring her home if you find her. Tell her that we love her. Wherever she is, I hope she's okay.
I mean, if someone were to come in...
No emotion. Now, all this BS with what he said in court, the BS with all the phone calls with his parents, right there, you can see there's no remorse. I don't know if Lorena Bobbitt was a weather forecaster, but she had a creative way of dealing with her husband who cheated with her. I know. I sit here and I just feel like yelling, get her name out of your mouth. But even that then just triggers me. He should not talk about her. This guy is so triggering. Yeah, I think a lot of people would. I mean, right now, I've gone from gripping my hands to my hands are separate and I have my hands in knuckles. Tight knuckles, like my fingernails are going into my palms right now because that's how much this guy triggers me. Yeah. Oh, exactly. A lot of self-restraint from the people dealing with this guy, in my opinion. Yeah, I think we all need to self-medicate. Let's get this over with.
Contact with her, and you gave me her diagnoses. Would it be easy to approach her without any like agitation or anything?
Yeah, yeah. She's a good kid. She's a good kid.
If you can sum up in one complete sentence,
I wish he'd stop saying she's a good kid. Because we know what he's talking about here. She's a good kid because she didn't resist. Because Stephan, she was only 7 or 8. She had no option.
waking up, getting ready to drop her off at school, dropping her off at school, to now speaking to me after talking to the police about her being missing for over 24 hours right now. In one complete sentence, what would that be?
A living nightmare. It's a living nightmare. Day started off like any other. And I just want to wake up.
The day started off like any other. You had never driven her to school before. You'd never gotten her up. Oh, you only just got notification. Wow. I actually scheduled this before I went to bed last night, so it's been scheduled for like hours and hours. I'm pretty certain that YouTube is being very frugal when it comes to notifying people of my live streams, of my videos, of anything. Yeah. It does sound very familiar, doesn't it? The guy, horrid man. Nothing about that day was a normal day. Yeah, so fake. Yep, the Grinch song. Sorry, that's my brain just... When someone says something like this and you hear me go quiet, you know that's the ADHD brain kicking in and wondering if I can get away with making a song about this guy. I wouldn't mind making a song about him. I wouldn't mind making a song about Soto the potato. Yeah, major squirrel moment.
Get hit with waves of the reality just setting in. As soon as it got dark last night, we started falling apart because we knew it wasn't going to come to an
Bullcrap,
end.
Stephan.
And now we're going on 24 hours and still nothing. Just conflicting reports here and there. People say they see this or that. None of it's conclusive and none of it's helpful. We just want our baby girl back.
Oh, our baby girl. How dare he? Yeah, these waves of reality. Utter crock. I get so triggered by this guy. There's so much I'd like to say right now, but I can't.
Tom, any questions?
No, I'm good.
Thank you.
Now to a disturbing story out of Central Florida. Police.
Yeah, that tissue was going to last forever. They do last forever if you don't actually get anything on them. So I'm going to go through this news story. Oh, how cool that your dad spent a month in Australia. Little possibly unknown fact for anyone who follows Lauren Matthias on Hidden True Crime. She actually did like an exchange, and she spent some time living here in Bendigo way back and going to the university here in Bendigo, which I find is kind of interesting, just to picture Lauren Matthias actually here in Bendigo. But anyway, yeah, going to play this news report, and then that might be it for this one. I think all of us need a bit of time to let our brains reset after watching him. But just to kind of still tell the story a little bit more.
Made an arrest in the case of a 13-year-old Madeline Soto who's been missing since Monday. 37-year-old Stephan Sterns, the boyfriend of Madeline's mother, is facing charges of sexual battery and possession of child sex abuse material. Police say he was the last person to see Madeline.
There goes my monetization. I probably should have thought that through, but hey, you know, we're here to tell Maddie's story, so, you know, this is for educational purposes, yada, yada, yada.
Dropped her off at school. She still is missing.
Right. Now, I'm going to stop there because after that is the press conference, which thankfully the guy that spotted Stephan changing the tyre on his car saw that and was like, I saw this guy. I might have to I'm not sure if I can even clip it before I can, because it'll have to process before I can clip that bit out. Hopefully, maybe because it's at the end, maybe they'll let it go. Or maybe when I do the review, I clip that bit out before I do the review. I don't know. But I'm going to leave it there. So next week, when we come back and look at Maddie again, I'll have a look at the news footage. Definitely not that bit again. And then I want to start digging into some of Jenn's interviews with law enforcement. I'm going to mostly avoid his interviews, aside from a few of the comments that he made that, to me, make Jenn look guilty. But in terms of reviewing his interviews, I just find him too triggering. And it's apparently something that YouTube doesn't like, because anytime I do stuff that's got him in it, that's definitely when I know I'm going to get demonetized. In terms of that, I know I put a post out last week saying that I wasn't sure if I could continue her case because I was being demonetized. My thoughts are that I'm going to continue talking about Maddie. I want to get Maddie's story out there again. And I want people to know why it is that we keep saying that Jenn needs to be locked up. I was incredibly disheartened last week when YouTube decided to demonetize my live stream. But basically, my original thoughts were, well, I'll try one again this week, and then after that I'll try doing premieres. But honestly, good night, Mike. Thanks for coming in. Honestly, I'm just going to keep doing them as live streams, regardless of what's going on. Because Maddie deserves that. Maddie deserves the justice that she didn't get. So they can keep continuing with demonetizing every time I talk about Maddie. But I'm going to keep talking about Maddie. Yeah, I mean, it's taken me nearly a year to be able to come back to her case because I was so upset. So I felt broken after he was allowed to plead no contest. I do wonder, Summer Breeze, if it's because of the place where he used to work, because that's a place in Florida that doesn't like bad publicity. And so I can't even name it really. But possibly that, I really don't know, but it's frustrating. Anyway, thanks for coming in, guys. There's no such plea in Canada. He's in jail. He's serving 21 life sentences. But it just seemed like a real slap in the face for him to be able to say no contest when it came to the charges for actually taking Maddie's life. Because a no contest plea essentially means I'm acknowledging that you've got the evidence to try a case against me, but I'm not admitting guilt. So it was basically he never had to face up to it. Anyway, on that note, thanks for coming in, and I'll catch you in the next one.
I've been